that there were cracks that were forming in the foundation of our relationship. And as those cracks widened and widened, we both fell into one when I had an affair with someone at work. The story of these kinds of relationships, it's never original. I'm sure most of you have been close enough to one to understand that. You start making choices to develop a relationship that you shouldn't, and it turns into day after day, lie after lie, until the deception is pretty great. You use your time, your money, your resources to be wherever you want to be, with whoever you want to be with. And you trade on the trust of the people in your life that you love the most. And pretty soon, you're living a life that you never thought you would be living. That's where I was. My life was highly compartmentalized. These people couldn't interact with these people. My husband couldn't know these folks. And so I was trying to manage a life that was very obviously going to collapse. But for a period of time, I was just trying to hold it all together. And I began to be isolated from friends and family. And growing was sort of a grip of darkness. If you've ever been in any kind of similar place, not maybe a relationship, but any sort of place where your own choices were trapping you, then you're going to understand what I mean when darkness sort of grabs on to what you're already doing and starts to push you further into a corner. And I started running during this time of my life. I'd always been a runner. I still love to run. And this time I really kicked up the mileage, and I would run literally for hours by myself. And a lot of times I would talk to God. I was sort of coming back to God in my life at this time, and I couldn't really fully engage him because my life was too dissonant with the things of God. It was too far away, but I still had a sense that he was around and that I should maybe talk to him. And so sometimes on these runs, I would talk to God. And slowly, God was turning up the heat in my life, and I didn't know, but he was trying to squeeze me. And I found the truth of what is now my very favorite psalm. It's Psalm 139, and I found the truth in these verses. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, you're there. If I make my bed in the depths, you're there. He was pushing in on me, causing me to deal with this massive conflict in my life. And I was on a run one day when I hit a major turning point. I was running, and I began to cry. And I began to cry to the point where I was having trouble running anymore. And I could take you to the exact square on the sidewalk where I was. I know it to this day. And I stopped because I couldn't run anymore. And I just cried out to God, and I said, I can't live like this anymore. I can't do this anymore. I don't know where to go. I don't know how to get out. I don't understand what to do. And I prayed the two words that had been sitting on my heart for probably a week at that point. And I fell down, sobbing, and I said to him, break me. Do it. Go around me, go over my head, go behind my back, do whatever you need to do, get me out. And I didn't ask him to help me, and I didn't ask him to fix it. What I asked him to do was to break me. That is a desperate invitation from a hopeless person. That is an invitation that's very scary because I knew two things. Number one, I knew he was waiting for me. That's why I waited so long. I knew that as soon as I prayed those words, the other thing I knew would happen, he would answer. I felt that strongly. I had no idea how. And I, in truth, finished that run and went back to living my life exactly the way I had been living it for probably, I don't know, maybe a week or two more, until one day I got a tap on my shoulder at work. and it was my boss. And she said, "You need to come with me. There's some people that want to speak to you, and I think this is going to be very uncomfortable for you."